Alright, the first problem here we're going to work on said a neighborhood consists of a 3 miles park and a 40 miles residential area. The total number of trees in the neighborhood is 2,300. The equation 3x plus 40y equal 2,300 represent this situation. Which of the following is the best interpretation of y? Alright, from the equation here I see y in that term. 3x plus 40y equals the total number of trees. So that means 3x is the total number in the park plus the total number in the residential area equal the total number of the trees in the neighborhood. So what does y represent in here in this situation? So like we said, 40y equal to total number of tree in the residential area. So if I divide both sides by 4, I get y by itself. So what is y? That will be the total number of the tree in the residential area divided by 40, which is the average. So y is the average, right? The average number of tree, right, in the residential area, and that will be B, average number of the trees in the residential area. And for the second one here, what is the sum of solution of this equation? So we can solve this equation. How we solve it? We can open two parentheses, use the FOIL, but we're gonna keep trial and error to get the right combination. So we're gonna concentrate on the first term, 2y squared, and put it here, and here. So how you factor 2y squared? 2y times y. Now let's concentrate on negative 15, and you put the factor of negative 15 here and here, but you put it in a way when you multiply the outer and you multiply the inner, that's going to give you negative 1y. So we're going to keep trying. If I put, how we factor 15? 1 times 15, or could be 3 times 5. So where I put the 1 and 15, or the 3 and the 5, this is what we're going to do to try to get the right combination. So if I put 5 here, so that will be 2 times 5 is 10, and 3 here, so 10 and 5 is not going to give us the negative 1. What about 3 here and 5 here? Yes, 3 here and 5 here. Why is that? Because that's going to give us 6, and 5 with opposite sign, that is negative 1. So I'm going to put negative 3, positive 5, that equal to 0, right? So from here we're going to put each one of the factor equal to 0. 2y plus 5 equal to 0, or y minus 3 equal to 0. So let's solve the one on the left. 2y equal to, by subtracting 5 from both sides, and to find y, divide both sides by 2. That's what you're going to get, negative 5 over 2. And from the other equation, if I add 3 to both sides, I get y equal to 3. So the sum of this solution, it will be 3 plus negative 5 over 2, or minus 5 over 2. And you simplify that, make the same fraction. 3, you can write it as 6 over 2 minus 5 over 2. That's going to give you 1/2. So the answer is 1/2. Alright, now maybe some of you doesn't like keep trying and error to find the right combination here. So there's another way to do it. You multiply the leading coefficient 2 by negative 15 by the constant. That's going to give you negative 30. Now try to factor negative 30. The product of the two numbers going to give you negative 30. The sum is negative 1. So I can put 5 and negative 6, right? Negative 6 times 5, negative 6 times 5, that's going to negative 30. And if I add negative 6 and 5, that's going to give you negative 1. So you're going to rewrite this equation using 4 terms instead of 3. So 2y squared. Instead of negative y, negative 1y, I'm going to put 2 terms, which is a negative 6y plus 5y, which is going to give you the negative 1y, minus 15. That equal to 0. And now we're going to solve it by grouping, factor by grouping. I'm going to take the first 2 terms, 2y squared minus 6y as a one group, plus the other 2 terms, which is 5y minus 15. This is the second group. I'm going to factor out 2y from the first group, and by using the drift property, that will be y minus 3. From the second group, I'm going to factor out 5, just 5 from the second group. I'm going to get, using the drift property, y minus 3. Now I see something common between these two groups, which is y minus 3. I have it here, so I'm going to factor y minus 3 and open another parenthesis, use the drift property. Y minus 3 times what? It's going to give you the first term, first big term, 2y. Y minus 3 times what? Going to give you the second big term, 5, just 5, multiplied by 5. Now we got what we had before, which is here, and from here you're gonna finish it the way we did, like the first part of the problem. Let's go to the third one. For the third one, they said the graph shows the relationship between the number of shares of stock from company A, which is a X, this one, and the number of shares of stock from company B, which is a Y, that Simon can purchase. Which equation could represent this relationship? Alright, so from the graph here, it's a line, a straight line. I can use slope y-intercept y because I can read the slope, I can find the slope. Slope is rise over run, and I can see the y-intercept, which is 40. So the slope is negative because going down, negative 40 over 60. Slope is negative 40 over 60. And the y-intercept b equal to 40. So let's write the equation and simplify and see which one is the right choice. Y equal mx plus b, negative 40 over 60x plus 40, right? Because we said the y-intercept b is 40. We can simplify the fraction. Let's divide the top and bottom by 10 first, get 4 over 6, divide actually by 20. So what we're going to get? We're going to get 2 over 3 x plus 40. Now I see the slope is a negative, so it's not first choice, not A, it's not C. It has to be B or D, and I put in standard form. I put x, y on one side and the constant on the other side. So let's multiply both sides by 3 because I don't need the fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3, multiply here by 3, and multiply here that side by 3. So that will be 3y equal, using the tripped property, what's negative 2 third times 3? That's negative 2. X plus what is 40 times 3? That's 120. So let's move the x, negative x to the other side, add 2x to both sides. So 2x plus 3y equal to 120. It's not this one, it's not this one, but if I multiply both sides by 4, I get this equation. Take a look. If I multiply both sides by 4, okay, let's use another color so you can see it. I'm going to multiply here by 4, multiply here by 4. So I'm going to get using the tripped property, that will be 4 times 2x is 8x, 4 times 3y, that will be 12y, and 4 times 120 is 480, and that will be choice B. And I think that's it for that video.